everybody. I'm going to do a porch chat with y'all and have a little chat out here on my porch. I won't be doing the bus stop happenings for at least a couple months because my daughter's out of school for summer and I believe she goes back to school sometime in August. So we can meet out here on my porch and have those sort of talks that we were having at the bus stop here, only we won't be interrupted by the bus showing up and me having to cut the video short. So I think this will be good. So I'd like to kind of add to the previous video I uploaded about self-improvement. The video I had uploaded before was about natural self-improvement, which just has to do with what happens after a non-dual awakening. And in this video I will specifically focus on addictions. So when I say non-dual awakening, I don't mean to make it seem very, very special or anything like that, but at the same time, I don't police my words a whole lot because it just doesn't work for me personally. It may work for other speakers and things like that, but not for me. I think maybe you can get the gist of what I'm talking about. Because there was a time previous to this where things were different. So I do see that there was a difference, a shift of some kind. I used to be very into words and the wording of these specific events with non-dual happenings or speakers, and not so much anymore. As this becomes more and more embodied, I don't feel the need to do that or to really explain it. But just to share with y'all, there was a time where I would watch certain videos or certain speakers, and if they would say the word awakening, or for example self-improvement, like I titled that previous video, I would almost immediately turn it off, because after watching some non-dual speakers and hearing over and over again there's nothing to do, nothing to get, nothing to change, everything is just perfect the way it is, I really felt that if anybody was to speak on those topics, it wasn't of any value. But I can share with you that there was a time previous to that non-dual awakening where things were a lot different. So I do see differences in my particular case. So I'll just speak to that to you. So when I'm speaking about these things, they're very particular to what's happening with me. I don't think that this is going to be happening with everybody. Everybody is an individual. Everybody is different. Everybody is having a different experience here. And we are all one, but they're all different experiences. So I'm going to talk about addiction today, and I'll just give a little forewarning that this is probably not how it happens for everybody. But I imagine that for those that have had non-dual awakenings, it's more common. Although I have also heard many people that still have addictions after a non-dual awakening. Okay, so me personally, I dealt with addiction prior to the non-dual awakening. I had an addiction to alcohol, and I can describe it in different phases in my life. There was a time that I just drank socially, and I really felt that I pretty much had to drink at every party or every vacation or, you know, those kind of social gatherings in order to have fun. And I didn't really understand how it was possible to have the level of fun I wanted to have without that. So I lived my life like that for many years. Later on, as I got older, and, you know, I had a child and things like that, that wasn't so much the case because I wasn't going out as much or doing social things as much. So then it just became like a couple glasses of wine after work to fall asleep. But it became a daily thing. And then I would still drink at social events and things like that. And it really crossed my mind many times how I just didn't understand how it was possible to live a life without alcohol, without that help of that relaxation in the evenings or at social events. I didn't understand how people were able to have fun or relax without this substance. I just really did not understand that. And there was times that I would stop drinking altogether and I would not enjoy it. I was pretty much miserable. But what I would find is that I was also miserable drinking. So it wasn't, either one wasn't good. It was fun in the moment, but afterwards I had a lot of guilt, a lot of shame. I may have even felt sick, depending on, how much or what it was. So that was my life before. After the non-dual awakening, I had a get-together with a neighbor, and I really felt sick after drinking. I really did not like it, and it was just a regular small bottle of wine, and it was shared amongst 4 people. So I really hadn't drank that much, but there was something in my body kind of repelling that, and I felt sick. I went home, and ever since that day, I haven't had a drink. I don't know how this happened, because like I said before, it was just a way of life, and I didn't see or understand that there could be any other way of life. My husband never drinks, and I always thought to myself, how is it possible that he can have fun or be this way without a drink? And I never really understood it until now. So after that get together with the friends where I got sick, I didn't drink anymore. I could just fall asleep very easily. This was very shortly after the non-dual awakening, if we can call it that. And I could fall asleep very easily, so I wouldn't need those 2 glasses of wine after work anymore. With friends, I just enjoyed being with them so much. The aliveness of what was actually happening. It was just so wonderful that to have a drink would just kind of cloud or distort that in a way that I just didn't want. So what ends up happening, or with my case, is like, you don't want to drink or use any substance that would alter what reality is. Because the way that I see it, and this is just my case, what is so amazing, so beautiful. The moments shared with friends, or the evenings with my husband or my daughter, they're just so special. The way that they are as they're rising in their raw, organic state. So something in my body just repels anything that would ever alter what is. So that is what's happened with me, and I haven't had a drink since. I can't imagine ever wanting a drink. I can't imagine ever wanting to be drunk. That to me just, it doesn't compute anymore. It seems to me like that would just, I wouldn't experience reality in the sense that I'm experiencing now. So I don't know how to explain what changed, but I really want to experience just life organically as it is, with no distractions, distortions, or anything. So with that, alcohol fell away, and I'm assuming if I had other addictions, that would as well. I sleep great at night, and I enjoy every moment. If I have the opportunity to be with a group of friends, or like I say, have an evening home after work or something like that, that is just enjoyed completely. Non-duality is not something like a religion or anything like that. It's just something that already is, and it's just got this label. So I don't want to confuse you when I say non-duality is this way. It already is this way. So being in the moment there with whatever is happening, that is so much greater than wanting to change it, or I can't imagine wanting to intensify it like I used to. What it is already is so amazing. So I just wanted to share what a big difference that has made in my life. And also, I didn't realize how much drinking was affecting my health, was affecting my relationships, was affecting my daily life. And ever since that drink I had with friends and didn't want to drink again, I've really become a lot healthier. I've become way more present, like I say, because I don't want to, distort anything, or have any kind of clouded overlay over any part of my life. So non-duality is really a direct experience with what is, without changing it, distorting it, or wanting it to be any other way. You just love whatever is. So I'm sitting here out on the porch, and I'm enjoying having this chat with y'all, this video. I'm enjoying everything that's here. You know, there's a bird over there. All of that is just so amazing that I wouldn't want to change any part of it. Before, I would come home tired, exhausted, maybe even unhappy, and I'd want that to be gone, so I'd have a drink. That just doesn't happen anymore. Every experience is a new experience, a fresh experience. That is just so amazing that I don't want to change it at all. Even if my day was exhausting, that's the experience, and it's amazing. It's a whole different level of experiencing life. Whether it's good or, in our opinion, bad, it's amazing. So non-duality is not any kind of bypassing. It's not wanting to escape, to change things, or to want things to be better or different. It is what it is, and that is very amazing already, as it is. But somehow or another, prior to this non-dual awakening, my eyes were clouded. I wasn't seeing how beautiful life already is, as it is. So when I would come home exhausted, wanting a drink because that day was rough, I was wanting to escape myself, my life, what had happened. That's no longer the case. I want a direct experience with it, no matter how tough it is. And in that sense, even if you are with that really hard experience, that difficult thing that you don't want, those other times, like for example, let's say I had a horrible day at work or something like that. Okay, so I was in that experience, but to come home, I wouldn't want to escape that. I would just completely enjoy my time being home rather than dwelling on anything that had happened previous. Because what's happened now is whatever had happened previous is no longer in existence. It's as if it never happened, and it really hasn't happened. So it's a whole different way of living, I think. And I don't know how it's happening. It just is all happening. That is what this is. It's just all happening. So I wanted to share that with y'all, and I do want to say I don't know that this would be everybody's case, but it is my case, and it's amazing. And if you are, you know, experiencing glimpses or this non-dual awakening or whatnot, or this communication resonates with you, but you don't feel the same way that I feel yet, I would just say, think about what alcohol or some of these substances do. They really take us out of the experience. They change it. They change what is. We see things, you know, more blurry. Some people get happier. Some people get angrier than they should be in that situation. So it changes what is. Do we really want to change what is? I don't. But there's no one that's able to say I want to change it or not. In the end, no one is really doing this. So I can't really offer any advice other than share my own personal experience, because in the end, we can't choose one way or another. Or we're not choosing it, I guess. But in the greater sense, we have the feeling that we are choosing it. And if we can have that feeling that we're choosing this sober life rather than this, let's say, drunken life, choose the sober life. See how it is. Experience it full on. We can do that even though there is nobody doing this. Ultimate will, what is actually doing all this, and it's nothing separate than what is. It is what is. It all aligns. It all aligns. So I can have the complete feeling that I'm doing this life, or making this choice, and have that experience. It's not that no one's doing this and I can't make this choice. I have to stay here being drunken. That's not the case. We can choose to do this, whether we're actually doing it or not. This is what will happen. So I wanted to share that with you. It's a bit complicated to talk about self-improvement because nobody's really doing it. There is no self. But it's all happening. and choices are being made, things are happening, and they're happening naturally and in harmony. And the more you embody and just give in to this non-dual awakening, if you've had it, the more your body and your mind and this character takes on that role of whatever it is. Wholeness generally means being in health, being whole, complete, in health. That's what happens after a non-dual awakening. You become whole. You become healthier and whole. And in the end, that allows you to connect better with everyone and everything around you, which connects everything that is one. And so all of these changes that are happening are just all happening naturally in the effort to connect you completely and totally with what is, what already is here. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. I don't want to offer any specific advice to addictions because, like I say, no one is really doing it. But if you need help with addiction, or if you rather choose this path, or you would like to have that, there's nothing stopping you. Me saying that there's no free will, it doesn't really mean anything. You can still choose to go get help. You can still choose something different, even though you're not doing it. It's a strange paradox, but it is how things are. I want to thank you for watching this video and all the new subscribers. I really enjoy speaking with y'all, so I will continue these videos, and I'd like to find a good spot for us to have these chats. So I have this porch chat here, and I'm looking to create like a little background in my room where I can have more in-depth chats with y'all, because there's so many different parts of life and different things that happen that I want to share with y'all. The other part of this channel I wanted to incorporate was actually showing or telling y'all about things that are actually happening in my life. So I will incorporate that in the videos to come. Thank you for watching.